Mag here, Robby, by the way. Unlike me, will take frostbite that terrifies, that causes fear and in the depth of your heart, and he'll shrug it off like it's an inconvenience. Ladies and gentlemen, Robby 3 Wheels and Mag.
Thanks, Oliver. Hi, everyone. We're from Switzerland. Our native language is French. So please bear with us, and if you don't understand, ask us to replay, right? Okay, we're gonna start with a small introduction video while everyone arrives. We're gonna start with a video. Okay, Mark, help. Up. There we go. Okay. Hi guys. Okay. So that's us. So Robby and his sidecar Ural. So we got Russian bikes. So I don't know if you recognize, this is in Alberta, nearby the Rocky Mountains. And so we've been training a little bit before to see how the bikes react and how far we could trust them. We have Doggy. Doggy is not with us because riding in Canada with very cold temperature is not fair for him. But it will come later on, hopefully, maybe. Okay. That was in Newfoundland. Alberta. Good. That's Switzerland, that's our Lake Geneva. Paris. That's Belgium. That was New Brunswick. It was cold. Ontario. No, I think so. And that's the Alaska Highway. Okay. Okay, the film is a bit longer. So let's represent who are we. So this is Robby and I'm Mag for Magali. So we've been riding motorbikes for quite some time. Right now we're having two Urals, so same model, and we will go through our bike during the presentation. So totally we've owned 9 bikes over the years, right, Robby? Robby has been doing Dakar, Rally Dakar, rally, and as well some more speed. Where is it? Where's your microphone? Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
I did 2 Dakar in Africa, the first one, and the first one in America, Buenos Aires to Chile. And I finish. It's not my sport. It's not my sport. I just try and I finish, but it's very hard. And I did twice like 24 hours of Mont in France. You turn 24 hours with one bike and 57 team. It will be great.
It was great, yeah. And so we ride between 20,000 and 50,000 kilometers per year, so quite a lot. Yeah, where do we like to ride? It's hard to say. In fact, we everywhere. It's everywhere. It's new discovery for us.
Yeah, because we cross 34 countries. It's 1 year and 2 months. And all places are really great.
Yeah, it's hard
very
to say.
difficult to choose. The difference in Canada, you have huge trail. In Europe, you can't ride fast, only 1 kilometer. But here, 100 to 400 kilometers, you can put gas maximum and no problem. Nobody's, no citizen to say, oh,
Too much noise.
Too much noise.
Yeah, you. This is luxury here for us. Okay, so that was Saskatchewan, and we've seen that. Okay, so we started a world trip. So we've decided over a year ago that we are done with the day-to-day life. Go to work, come back home. Go to work, come back home. And so we've sold everything we have, and we've decided to live differently until we cannot anymore. So we started the world trip in December 2021. In fact, Robby started on his own for the eastern countries, and we get all the arrangement finished at home, and he came to pick me up in May. And we built my sidecar and everything, and then we arrived in Canada in October. But in fact, we have a mentor. And Robby, do you want to talk about Hubert? Bye.
I bought my first sidecar because I have 2 daughters and I want to ride with my 2 daughters in the same vehicle. So when we turn around we make Tour de France with my 2 daughters, and after I saw this guy in internet. It is Hubert Regel, and he's the first man who turned around the world with a sidecar, Ural, Russian sidecar. And he speaks like this. He was 55 and he said, I have 10 years left before retired and I will be poor. So I can sell all I have, I can travel 10 years and I will be poor too. So between travel and work, I prefer travel. And he traveled 14 years. He died 4 years ago,
of a heart attack.
But he traveled 14 years old. 14 years.
Yeah. And his motto?
Yeah,
his motto was, don't forget to take a risk today.
Yeah.
And I think that's really talked to us a lot.
And when I saw this, I said, okay, I go. And 6 weeks after, I was in the road.
On the road, yeah, absolutely. So this is our mentor. Okay, so the 2 bikes. What about our bikes? Sidecars. They're not bikes, right? 2 sidecars. We are extremely lucky that we got the last 2 sidecars fully built in Russia, in Irbit, which is a village nearby the Mount Ural. That's why they call Ural. And unfortunately, due to the war between Ukraine and Russia, the embargo came, and Russia could not export anymore any Ural, or anything in fact. Today, what they've done is that they build a factory in Kazakhstan, and so they are shipping from Russia to Kazakhstan spare parts, and then in Kazakhstan they assemble the sidecar and then they can export again. But our 2 sidecars are from 2022, and they are the last one fully built and made in Russia. So we're kind of happy and proud of that. And we will talk about them, how they behave in medium and very cold temperature. Don't forget, they are built in Siberia, so they know how cold it is. Okay, so yes, it's great to have sidecar, but then this is our life now. We live on our bike, so we need to improve some of and put some options in order to keep us going. So what we've done is that we've added some USB and 12-volt plugging because sometimes we need to connect the compressor for the tires to, because we use different type of road. We hate highways, so we use a lot of back track roads. So we need to use these 12 volts. We've added a windshield, but a large one. They do have smaller one, but this one, it's more expensive, but it really protects you a lot more against the wind and against any protection you might get from other car tracks. We do have same thing to protect us about the hands and the legs. So, and that they work super well. We're super happy to have that. One thing that we added really, and it's very important, is the warning lights. So, you know, I mean, we ride a bit everywhere, and if you suddenly have no power or you just break down, it's really great to be able to be identified, and you put the warning lights on. And we have a camera support for our GoPro, and we will talk about what we use as well. We do have sand plates, and we could even call them snow plates, because we got stuck in a snowmobile path trail, and so we use our plates to get out of the mess we were in. And we got a tow rope, and really that's pretty much what we've been adding to our bikes, so not a lot. Okay, so this is from December to June. This is the trip that was taken around Europe. So up to North Cape, which is the highest point in Europe. And we will talk about the Canadian one later on, because we've been there too. So totally 35,000 kilometers were done, and 34 countries were visited. So yeah, all the way, of course, starting from Switzerland, all the way to Denmark, took the ferry up to Sweden, and then Finland, and then drove all the way to North Cape, coming down, and the goal was at the time to cross Russia, right, Robby?
The north of Norway is North Cape. This is a goal for all biker in Europe in summertime. But in winter, I like it because there is no one on the road. I rode 650 kilometers with nobody on the road, only snow and ice. And the first, after go down, I should have crossed all Russia to Vladivostok. It was a dream for me, like Napoleon, French. But 2 weeks before the war, the border was closed. So I go south, east Europe countries. I cross all Turkey. Turkey is wonderful. It's huge with big mountains. Georgia, Armenia, and I come back to Switzerland to pick up Mike.
But we were lucky enough because the border was closed. We couldn't go to Russia by road, but we could fly. So we flew to Moscow, and there we rented a Ural. So it was it was mid-January last year, just a year ago, and we rented a Ural and we ride the Ural through Moscow, and all the Muscovite people were like, "What, time's up!" And we got coffee and vodka on the street. It was such a great time. -15, -22 even one day. Anyway, so now we can say we rode at least a Ural in Russia. We're very proud. Okay, and here comes our journey. Now, so we landed here in October. We ship our 2 bikes from Switzerland to Canada, to Montreal. Sorry. And then we started, so we went Labrador, Newfoundland. I mean, you know better your geography than us. And so we've been riding, right now we are nearly at 20,000 kilometers in Canada.
Just to imagine, Switzerland, it's only this size. It's half of Superior Lake. Imagine for us, travel all this country, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, and one funny thing was when we arrived nearby Newfoundland, we're like, okay, it's an island, okay, and then, okay, let's plan, we're gonna stay 5 days, something like that. But when we start Googling to know where to go in Newfoundland, we realized Newfoundland is 2.5 bigger than Switzerland. So we stayed 2 weeks. And that was great. That was great. Okay. One thing, so yeah, we will put up again the video at the end of our presentation, right? But one thing, so yes, your scenery everywhere, it's beautiful. Do we have a plan? Have we planned that in advance? No. No, yes, we knew tuk-tuk was something that needed to be seen. But in between, no plan. And in fact, when we ride, you know, we stop at gas station, of course. And the sidecar is really attractive to people. And people really come easily when you have 2 sidecars, imagine. They come and chat. And in fact, they give us direction. They say, hey, you must do road 219 on this way, 389 on this way. So in fact, somehow, every day, we get advice on the best place to ride in Canada. So that's why we do kind of bumps here and there, because we follow what we've been told. And that was great. And we've been meeting, so we've been seeing a lot of your country. And there is still a lot more to see, especially here on the BC side, but we got stuck with all the border closed at the Dawson City, and the Rocky Mountains road been closed because it's winter. So we're gonna come back for sure to do that during springtime. But the most important is the people we met. This is what is gonna stay, because it's amazing the hospitality the Canadians offered. We've been staying at many different places with many different people that invited us. I can't name all of them because there's so many during the 5 months, but want to tell you some stories in Fort. I always get confused. Fort St. John on the Alaska Highway, we were gassing, and the gas station was pretty large. Robby was on the right side, I was on the left side. A small truck came in, the guy came out and he said, "You two, you deserve a hot bath and a king bed size. I'm the manager of the hotel over there and the room is waiting for you." And he takes off. So we look at each other, it's like, is it a joke, or, I mean, really? So, okay, after gassing, we go to the hotel, and yes, a room was waiting for us with a king bed size. And so that's one of the story. Another one in Newfoundland, Robby broke the crankshaft in the middle of nowhere. I towed him for 6 hours in Newfoundland, and we arrived in Stephenville, finally, a village. And we are gassing. I gas because you were broken. I gas, and a couple come and say, hey, oh, that's nice, what's happening to you? And they say, you know what? Tomorrow morning we put the sidecar on our trailer and we drive you to Port-au-Choix, which is the ferry that brings us to Nova Scotia, because there is a garage, Ural, in Nova Scotia. It's 200 kilometers one way. The next morning at 8 o'clock, the couple was here and they brought us to Port-au-Choix. And it's it's amazing. Yeah, in French we say that the Canadian are our cousin. I think you are brothers. You're not cousin. You want to say something?
Yeah, it's not finished. We cross the sea with the ferry, and the garage in Nova Scotia is 300 kilometers. And the garage came to
with a trailer
to pick up and to the garage free. It's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. And then we met these guys from Great Adventure.
Pat Dubreuil.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, in fact, yeah, it's on Abitibi. So we were in the Abitibi and there is this huge Christmas storm. So we stayed 3 days at a couple house and spent a great Canadian Christmas with them, with great Canadian food. But in the meantime, on Facebook, then we got contacted by Pat. He said, hey, you know guys, I got a friend in Hearst. Go and see him. So yeah, great friend in Hearst. See him, say, you can stay at my motel. We're like, really? And then he said, you know what? Then you have to come down 150 kilometers, something like that. And there is a motel waiting for you in Dubreuil. And I was so great. So yeah, thank you. It's been like that absolutely everywhere. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'll stop being emotional. Next slide. Okay, lots of people ask us, why do you ride Canada in winter?
No mosquitoes, no tourists.
So that's the two things. But for us European, Canada means winter. Yeah, we see you guys as being always in the cold in winter. So we wanted to do it in winter, and we're gonna come back for sure and do it in spring to see differently. But our goal was to do it in winter. So when we arrived in Canada, we're like, who knows better cold, how to protect against cold than Canadians? Well, Canadians, right? So we're like, you guys use skidoo everywhere and you're not cold. So let's do the same. So we started going shopping in Montreal. And so we stopped and bought FXR monosuit, skidoo monosuit, and the underliner, and as well the boots. The FXR, they had a hard time because, well, first we wear them every day, and then you have so much salt on your road. Not in the north parts, but Quebec and Ontario. Really, at the end of the day, our half legs are really white. And of course, our suits are really suffering a lot. The zippers start not working anymore, even if we wash them in the evening, etc. But you know what? They have 30,000 kilometers in winter. So, I mean, that's pretty good, right? And even Robby used them in Europe before. So they got his as 60,000 kilometers. Anyway, FXR heard about us, and they asked us to go to Winnipeg, to their headquarters, and they just offer us 2 new suits. So we are ready again for another 30,000 kilometers. So that's our FXR, and thank you to them. Then we use, it's UK, from UK brand, Kiss. So we have our gloves that are directly connected to the battery of the bike. Because one thing you don't want to the bike is, I mean, if something is not working, you still want to have warm hands, right? That's very important. So the gloves are connected directly to the battery, and then we got a vest, we got a trouser, and we got socks. And theirs are all connected together, and they're also connected directly to the battery of the bike. We will tell you later on how we use them. We don't use them every day, depends on the temperature, but they've done a pretty good job. We're kind of happy. And our helmet, it's a SOCIAUX mission helmet for skidoo. So the helmet is not CE approved, European Community approved. So we are not supposed to ride on the road in Europe with it, but we did it.
I rode a lot of helmets in Europe, but this kind of helmet is the better because you don't have water into the windows, never. -10, -20, -30, never, because you have a protection like a pilot military plane, like this, and the air go back and not up to the windows. To me, it's the best to snowmobile, snowmoto, and sidecar.
You can connect them as well to be electrical, to defrost. We used them twice, and we went up to -50 temperature, but we only use it twice. So yeah, now this helmet does a pretty good job. Yeah, so that's our equipment. Navigation. So we've decided to have 2 different GPS because we want to explore 2 different kind of roads and make sure. So Robby runs on TomTom and I have a Garmin. We have a preference for the TomTom because he shows more off-road than the Garmin. The Garmin is a bit shy. He keeps you next to the highway, but not too far out. The TomTom is sometimes is nice. We had good things. So.
Tu n'aimes pas tout le temps. You don't like.
No, I don't always like what the TomTom
in Newfoundland.
road. In Newfoundland, I think we got lost even in one of the ATV track. But anyway, it does. So a little preference for us TomTom. But and for the video, so we have 2 GoPros. One is fixed on the sidecar, and another one, Robby has it inside his suit, and is filming like that. And we have a drone. The drone did a great job in Tuk-Tuk at -45.
-45, he works like 0 degrees, no problem. But GoPro 5, -25, start to stop battery. And GoPro 10, -40, 45, he stop, he film only 5 seconds. Stop, I put on 5 seconds only and continue. But the Mavic 3 is the best. -45, it works. We win. 20, 30 minutes, no problem.
That was great. Yeah.
It works like a Rolex watch.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we handle the different temperature? So you see our bikes, what they can look like in the morning? They frost. They are frost, and that's the outside. The inside is frost too. The oil freezes. So up to -15, -20, we just have to kick many, like 20, 30 times. And then it's enough for the piston to move everything inside and then it stops. But when we start getting -30, Robby makes fire under the bike.
Only 5-10 minutes. Just be careful that fire don't burn
Any plastic.
Plastic, yeah.
So you control the fire, put the fire underneath, and because we don't want to use any electrical, I know there is a lot of fancy things, that you can connect and then you put under your bike to heat up the motor, etc. We don't want to use a battery. I mean, a battery is weak already, so you don't want to use this kind of thing. So old method fires, this is what they do in Russia. This is what the truckers do here as well when they get to up north to for the gas tank. You have to control it, and really after 5-10 minutes, the bike starts. We never ever had any issue. Bikes, we're still on the bikes. What freeze when we get to minus 30 is the steering helper. Okay, you got it. That freeze.
In the Dempster, I want to make a U-turn for a photo. I can't. Like this. Was frozen. And the suspension too. I can't touch the suspension. They were hard, very hard. It's different, but you can ride.
Exactly. So that's really, at this temperature, this is where we need to take a little bit more care of the sidecars. But I mean, they sleep outside, and they are no issue. Yeah. Us, so you see we're a bit frozen. Minus 15, it's enough to have the liner and the suit, and that's enough. We don't put any electric on. When we start getting minus 20, then we start to put really some electrical clothes on, switch on with the battery. And in fact, from minus 20 to minus 50 is the same thing. We have the same gear. We don't add any other things. Now we have also electrical gloves, and we have the hand grip. They are not as warm as your skidoo, unfortunately. They do the job, but just limit. But that's okay. I mean, it's manageable. It's really manageable.
Minus 40, minus 50, I put out my hand of the gloves, and I frostbite.
You had a frostbite.
Yeah, frostbite, because I like take picture. But if not, it's okay.
Yeah. No, really. Yeah. I mean, we did not have a hard time riding at minus 30, because that was more or less the average we had up north. Minus 25, minus 30 degrees, we had no hard time. No. Now we drink a lot of coffee when we see a gas station. When we see a gas station. And the thing also that is, and Oliver maybe can say as well, it's hard to drink because everything freezes in our bike. So your water is frozen, your tea is frozen.
The oil,
Extra oil, everything is frozen that we carry with us. So we keep driving until we find a gas station. Yeah, we want to thank you to Read Adventure, who invited us to the Moto show here in Toronto. It's our first show. And Marc is here.
This is the president of the Ride Adventure.
Big clap for Marc. Yay! Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, again, great people we've been meeting here. And okay, we are very, I mean, we ride every day, between 300 and 400 kilometers a day. And then we do our own videos. We don't live out of YouTube like everyone could think. No, forget it. You need to know, I don't know. You need to have millions of followers. We don't live out of that. But we want to make, because we want to show our friends and close family as well where we've been, how beautiful it is. So we ride every day, and once a week, we stop to make our video, and we post that on YouTube. So you're very welcome to follow and leave us some comments. Now we're not super good at all the young social medias. So TikTok and Instagram are not our best friends. But Facebook and YouTube, yeah, we handle that. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, do you want to go back to the video? So, no. Wait, I'm gonna put back a little bit the video. Okay, but can we move it a little bit? Go for it. I don't know. That's. Oh no, it's not. No. Okay, we wanted to go at minute 5 or something like that, or in the middle, wherever. So yeah, that's perfect.
Just before. A little bit, yeah.
No, start from the beginning. Thank you. Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. If you have any question, we can go around the sidecar and you do? The what? Oh, you do? I don't. I don't speak German. I speak French only. There's a young lady over there. Yeah, I'm
Attends, Max.